The '03 and '04 Mach 1s are incredible cars. They are limited production. They were only made for '03 and '04, and they were actually made the same time as the '03, '04 Cobras, but there were actually less of them made, so they're actually more rare than an '03, '04 Cobra. Now, '03, '04 Cobras also included convertibles, so if you're going to look at only hardtop cars, you might consider that. But what I'm saying about the Mach 1 is it's a very rare car. It's unique, it looks good, and it has a lot of specific parts, like the chin spoiler, the Mach 1 grill delete, the shaker hood, the custom weave seats that look like the older Mach 1s. You have the pedals, the gauges, lots of really neat things about these cars. Even the engine being a 32 valve compared to a GT, even though a Mach 1 is technically based off a GT. Now, with this comes a lot of rarity, and to me, I'm the type of guy who loves all these specific and special parts. And one of the parts I love about the Mach 1 that I would never change are the heritage wheels. So these wheels came on the Mach 1 Mustangs in '03 and '04, and they are designed to look like the old Magnum wheels that would have been an option on the Mach 1 Mustang. And so I really like these wheels. They were never offered on a GT or a Cobra or any other Mustang. It was only the Mach 1s. Now you could buy them at the dealership, like this ad shows you can buy the wheels, and so that's kind of cool. But the Mach 1, these are all the unique features. There's so many things that make it that way, but to me the car needs to look that way and stay that way to an extent. So definitely I keep the original Mach 1 wheels on the front of both of my Mach 1s, and these are the wheels I have on the back. I think they look fantastic on the car. They are made by AFS, and they're supposed to look just like the original Mach 1 wheels, but wider and deeper. So for that reason, I have aftermarket wheels on the back of the car, yes, but they are supposed to look like the original Mach 1 wheels. I want that look. When you see the car and you see that it's a Mach 1, you want to say, oh, look, there's a Mach 1, and it has the Mach 1 wheels on it. Not try to figure out if it's really a Mach 1 or not. I can understand if somebody would want to change it if it was ugly, but it's such a good looking wheel, I don't see why anyone would want to change it. So I have a rule, and my number one rule is you can change the wheels on the car so long as you keep the original ones to always put back on. You see, I bought my Torch Red '04 Mach 1, and it was a really nice car, but it came with Celine wheels, and these were actually real Celine staggered wheels that were 18 by 9, and they even came with a different offset so that the rear ones would stick out more. But yeah, they were original Celine wheels. You can see there on the side of them, and they were a good looking wheel. I like them on other Mustangs, just not on the Mach 1. So here's a beautiful Mach 1, but to me it just looks wrong. It doesn't have the right wheels on it. And so I went to a lot of trouble to track down a set of those AFS rear wheels to get another set, and they were out of production, so they were hard to find, but I did find a set for the back, and I did have extra Mach 1 original wheels I've kept so that I could have some for the front. So I bought tires, and I had it all mounted and balanced, and I got this all taken care of and got all these wheels on the car, so now the car looked fantastic. It looked exactly like I think a Mach 1 should look. Now I know other people disagree, and that's okay if you disagree, but for me, if it's a Mach 1, it should have Mach 1 wheels on it. And so I just love how the car looked. It looked so fantastic. And my zinc yellow Mach 1, it still had the Mach 1 wheels on it, but they had plasti dipped them. And to me, this just looks terrible. It looks like an old police car or an old taxi cab, or it looks like something that had hubcaps that had fallen off of it. So to me it just looked terrible. I don't see why somebody would take such a good looking wheel and black it out so you can't even see the details, because these wheels are actually two-tone. They're machined, and they also have painted argent in the middle. So beautiful looking wheels, and I did strip the plasti dip off of those. I also put the AFS rear wheels on that car, so you can tell that if it's a Mach 1, this is the way I think it should look. Now that's okay, if you have other wheels and you have different opinions, but that's the way I see it. So I did have these Y2K Cobra R wheels on my 97 V6, and the tires were dry rotted on this Mach 1 when I bought it, and so there was a time where I would switch the wheels over, but just to wear out the ones that were on my V6, and so you will see some pictures and videos of the blue Mach 1 when it has those Cobra wheels on it, and it looked okay, but to me it just looked wrong. But anyway, in this picture you'll see there's quite a lineup of Mach 1s, and it was very interesting that in such a small town here in Utah where I live, there were so many Mach 1s. I counted over 20 at one point, and all sorts of colors and different ones, but this was a pretty cool lineup of Mach 1s. We had mine and my brother's and my friends and a couple more friends, and so this was really fun, and this was a time where my Mach 1 had the Cobra wheels on it, so that's why we're getting to this part of the story. But if you remember, I did talk about a blue Mach 1 that lived nearby that I had never known, and it's kind of a cool story how I ended up meeting the guy. So this is his Mach 1, and it's azure blue with FR 500 black wheels on it. So this is us having fun. That's me and the Bullet. And that's him in the blue Mach 1, and you can see he has black wheels on it. So black wheels do look good on a Mach 1. They complement the hood stripe and shaker, the chin spoiler, the Mach 1 grill delete, the side stripes, the rear spoiler. So yeah, it does complement it, and it does look good. That way it kind of brings the car together. So I'm not saying it looks bad, but I just think the Mach 1 wheels originally look so much better. So yeah, it was really cool to meet up with these people, and I was actually driving by and I saw the red Mach 1 at Outback Steakhouse, and so I got my blue one and I waited for them to come out, and they were such awesome people. We became great friends. I have a story about that red Mach 1 story on my channel, and the blue Mach 1 as well on my channel. So I'll put a link to those stories in the description of this video if you'd like to go watch those stories as well. And so they actually knew each other, and so that was cool. The people who owned the red Mach 1 had met the guy with the blue one, and they liked the Mach 1 so much they had to have one for themselves. And so it's a really cool story how we all got to meet each other, and I finally got to meet the guy with the blue Mach 1 that I had only heard about and seen glimpses of in the past. And so with the Y2K Cobra wheels on my blue Mach 1, I was out having fun with my brother with his red Mach 1, and so here's a little video of us horsing around and just enjoying the cars together. And yeah, I was spinning a lot, and the tires weren't great. They were just street tires that were worn down, but kind of a cool video. But you can see that I have the Cobra wheels on in this video.
We'll just start going, and then at 10 we'll hit it. 15.
Okay. Good.
Is it recording this time, Danny? I guarantee he was spinning. You spinning? What? Were you spinning?
All the time, always.
Well, what do you want to do so you don't spin?
I don't. Let's just get going like 25 here.
So I did finish off the tires on those Cobra wheels with my Bullet. There's videos about that in the story about the Bullet. It was pretty cool. But anyway, I did sell those. I didn't feel like I had a Mustang that needed them anymore. I sold the V6 to my sister, and so they didn't look good on the Bullet or the Mach 1 in my opinion. I mean, they look good, but they didn't belong on there. So then I happened to find a set of black Bullet wheels for sale. And I wasn't interested in buying them because I wanted black wheels. I thought they were a good wheel because they were a Bullet wheel. But I wanted to buy them because they were $400 for all the wheels plus almost new tires. And so for me, I thought, well, instead of buying new tires for like $600 or $800 or whatever it would cost. I might as well just get these wheels for $400, and then I would have a whole extra set, and I can enjoy them, use the tires, and then I could probably sell them for what I paid for just the wheels, or close. And so that's what I did. So I did have some black Bullet wheels, and I swapped them onto the Bullet, and I swapped them onto the Mach 1, and I played around with them and had fun like that, all the time knowing that I like the look of the original wheels better on these cars. But here's some footage of the blue Mach 1 on the way to Cars and Coffee with my friend, and I had the black wheels on, and this is racing his '06 Charger RT. It was a Hemi car. I think his plate even said 345 Hemi because it made 345 horse. But back then, they were so new, you didn't know if they'd be able to beat a Mach 1 or not because they were newer cars, and you didn't know much about them. So here was our little run and some more fun. So that was a lot of fun. We were actually headed to this Cars and Coffee event that they used to have every Saturday morning on the first day of the month. And they do it again now, but they had quit it for a long time, which was too bad. But you can see on the far right, you have my friend's Charger, and then my blue Mach 1 with the black Bullet wheels on it. Then my brother's red Mach 1, my friend's white Trans Am, my little brother's Camaro that had a cam and a bunch of stuff, LS1 car. You'll see that in the Mach 1 battle it here soon. There's my friend's red Fire Mustang GT. You can see the red Mach 1 that my other friend had. You can see the spoiler just peeking out there. And there were more of our friends there, just couldn't see them in the picture, and a silver Trans Am over there. But pretty cool event. It was fun to do this, and it made it really fun to own these cars because you'd want to get together and go, and everyone got along. It was a pretty good show. So then we had my brother and me driving around with our Mach 1s all the time. You'll see more pictures of that coming up. Really awesome to go to car shows and things. And we'd go out with my friend in his Trans Am. He's actually our brother-in-law. So that was fun because if we were all together as a family for Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, my brother and I could get together with him and we could go do car stuff and have fun. So anyway, we did the red, white, and blue. That might have been one of those 4th of July pictures or something. But, you know, we'd all hang out as friends and get together and have a good time. Here's a little footage of hanging out at my house working on a Mustang GT that a coworker had and asked us to work on. So this is kind of fun to see. So, having a little fun today. We've got my Mach 1. We've got Stacy's new Mustang. Got little guy. Mach 1. Beautiful cars. We have the blue GT, which we've just finished putting a new engine in. And we're missing Jeremy's red Mustang and Megan's black Mustang. But we also have this guy over here, 98 GT, 5-speed. Belongs to a friend at work. We're redoing the transmission. Some numbnuts.
Just pulled out the hardest bolt.
Yeah. Some numbnuts happened to redo the clutch and he put the throwout bearing in backwards or something.
He didn't put it in right. It's supposed to slide between on the clutch fork, and he has it in front of it and behind it. It's messed up.
Yeah, know it all. Anyway, jealous. This GT is, oh yeah, we have another one too.
Hey, how about the
Green GT, 97.
The shifter on.
And anyway, pretty clean car. Pretty sun faded if you park it right next to mine. It's almost white. It's so faded, but it's a really straight body, clean car. So that's what we're doing, having some fun.
So speaking of having fun, one of the things that I like to do for fun is go out and take pictures of the car. There are some people that do that full time, like that's all they do with their car is go out and take pictures. They don't race it or do anything, and that's fine if that's what they like to do. So I wanted to take this out and get some really nice pictures. There's an old bowling alley that they were about to tear down, so I wanted to get some pictures of the Mach 1 next to it. I thought it was cool because it was kind of blue, kind of like the Mach 1, and it was just fun to go out there and take some pictures and just see the beautiful mountains and everything and enjoy the car on a nice morning. I was out there long enough that the sun started to come up, and so I went back and took more pictures since the lighting was a little bit different. But it was just a really fun time to have the car, go out and drive around and enjoy listening to it, and you know, it's somewhere to go, it's something to do. I love this new road out here that goes around the lake. It's one of my favorite places. And I had talked about how the Mach 1's hood reminded me of a mountain range the first time I looked through the windshield and saw that. And so I took a picture that kind of showed the mountain range and the Mach 1's hood and just enjoyed a little bit of photography. I'm not a huge photographer. I actually just enjoy taking pictures like this all the time, and this was before I had a lot of Instagram and things that I would post the pictures to, but I was a member of Modded Mustangs, and that forum was always fun to get on there and post pictures of your car and, you know, share it with everybody. So these are all the pictures I have with the black wheels, and I just love it out here. It's such a nice place to drive around. And I went back out later once I didn't have the black wheels on. I've taken more pictures since, but you'll see in a lot of our videos we have cruises around this lake, and so it's just somewhere that's really good looking and somewhere fun to go, and I just can't get over how nice it is out there. So you have a nice car in a nice place. Those two go together. Some people would go out there just to enjoy a morning in such a nice place, and for me, having an awesome car to enjoy is just even better. So I just love going out there and, you know, taking the scenic way home. So it's not really that far away either, so I can go out there often. But one thing I always remember about this lake is when I would go on the lake in a boat and be with friends and go on the beach of it and stuff and hang out, I'd always look at the road and wish that I was in the Mach 1 instead on the road, because that just seemed more fun to me. So I will always remember that. But these are the pictures of the blue Mach 1 with the black wheels, and you know, the car will not have these black wheels on it coming up. This was just a temporary thing, and so I do have these pictures and thought this is the appropriate time to show the car and all these pictures I have of it like this, because it won't be like this anymore. But it is fun to wake up in the morning and have something that you really want to do, and that's go for a nice drive. Especially around here when it gets really hot, the morning is very pleasant. Sometimes you'll wake up and it's like 80 degrees outside. It's just perfect to go drive around. It's not cold or anything. And in the winter that changes, but it's still nice to go for drives, because then by the time noon rolls around it's warmed up that it feels good. So you can see my brother met up with me, and that was fun to take pictures. And this was taking the Mach 1 with the black bullet wheels on it to the eye doctor one day. I didn't daily drive the car, but I would take it out on occasion to run a couple nice errands on a nice day. Here's a picture of the Bullet and the Mach 1 together, and this was my profile picture on Modded Mustangs for a little while, so that's a fun picture to look back at. And I did put the Bullet wheels on the Mach 1 at one point because I wanted to put the Mach 1 wheels on the Bullet, so we'll see pictures of that coming up. But switching wheels around was just fun. There's the Bullet in the garage with the Mach 1 wheels on it. And somebody recently asked, has anybody seen a blue Bullet with Mach 1 wheels on it before? So I was able to dig up these old pictures and post them, and I thought that was kind of cool. The Bullet looked good with them, but again, they don't belong on there. So that's just something that I changed around, and just hanging out in the garage, waxing the cars, enjoying them, switching the wheels around some more. It seems like that's all I did, but this was over a good period of time. So here's the Bullet with the black wheels on, and I thought that looked pretty good too. I got a lot of attention driving around like that. I felt like the police paid extra attention to me when they saw me driving around with black wheels. I don't know why, but that's how I felt. But anyway, just to show, here's the Bullet with these wheels. And yes, the Bullet does become a big part of the story here, because the Bullet was the car that I raced and I enjoyed. I take it down to the racetrack. I did donuts in it. I did a lot of things that I didn't want to do to the Blue Mach 1. So I do have to give the Bullet a lot of credit in that regard. So then my brother and I would drive around and meet up on nice Saturday mornings to cruise around in our Mach 1s. So I do have some more pictures of us driving out. This is towards a different side of town that had a lot of the red cliffs. Beautiful place to go. Beautiful place to take pictures and enjoy being out on a Saturday morning. So you can kind of see a theme of what we like to do and how we like to enjoy our cars, and that's all great. Now, speaking of enjoying our cars, my brother had asked me if we would take the Blue Mach 1 and drive down to Las Vegas to pick up his new Mustang Cobra. And he has a whole story about getting his Cobra. And basically, he wanted to go down there in the Blue Mach 1. And that was also a time when this Blue Mach 1 had the black Bullet wheels on it. So all the pictures I have of this trip are during this time period. And so this was pretty cool. You can see him putting gas in the car because it was for his trip, and we were going to drive down there and buy this yellow Cobra. And he was very nervous at this time. But this is us driving down through the gorge, very famous place in my videos I talk about a lot. And the awesome desert drive between Utah and Vegas, nice desert highway. You know, this is the interstate just headed south, and so really, really fun time. Beautiful day for a drive. This is getting into Henderson, just outside of Vegas. And that's actually where I bought my blue Bullet as well, so kind of cool to be in Henderson again. Just driving around and then seeing his Cobra there. What a beautiful car. I can't stress how much that this car is perfect. I love that car. And it was a great thing. Now you know that once he gets one, I'm going to have to get one too. And so that's part of the story, and this is all of him getting the car. And you know, I was waiting for him to come out of the bank. I took pictures of the car and how beautiful the reflection of the Mach 1, you know, has with his car in it. And so this was a very big day. It was very fun, but man, what a perfect Cobra. So the nice thing was, in all this, you kind of worried that he was going to sell his Mach 1 to get the Cobra, but he ended up keeping it. And then same with me getting my Cobras, I was able to keep the Mach 1. So that's all a good story and a good ending with that. So still a lot to come with the continuation of the story of the Azure Blue Mach 1. As you can see, I do end up getting a Terminator, and you know, as the story continues, over 20 Mustangs I will own. So you know, it's pretty fun to go through and watch all this. But this is the story of the Blue Mach 1. More to come. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I did get the AFS wheels for the car, so we'll talk all about that soon. And just a lot more of the history and, you know, having some fun with the car. So those videos are to come. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't caught all the earlier parts to this series, go ahead and watch them if you'd like to. And stay tuned for more Mustang content.